Hi, I'm Anna. Today I'm going to be reviewing my lovely Haier American fridge freezer. This was given to me by AO.com to review, and it is an absolutely fantastic fridge freezer. The model number is HRF 800DG58. Now this, as you can see, is a very large fridge freezer. The delivery was absolutely fantastic. The drivers, well, they got it straight in, no problem, 2 of them, and it took a lot of getting through because it was quite big, as you can see, but it's even bigger when we actually get into the fridge freezer. I must say, AO are absolutely fantastic. Service-wise, you know what time it's coming, they ring you. The delivery was on the exact time that they stated. So, should we take a look inside the fridge freezer? Before we actually look inside the fridge, just let me tell you a bit about the outside. As you can see, it looks slightly different from any other fridge freezer. This is because it's actually coated in titanium glass all over the front of it. Beautiful. And this stops, as you'll know, as I had one before that was stainless steel, scratches, dents. You always get them no matter how careful you are when you're putting shopping away. They always get scratched, but with the glass, it's not going to happen. You do get the fingerprints on it, but these wipe off really easy with a soft cloth. And the handle itself is actually recessed in. This is the actual handle. So you're not getting hold of the front of it when you open it. Let's look inside the fridge. The fridge holds 7 litres of food or drinks. Now if I put it right back, that's how far it opens. Not like some where you can just open it slightly and you're scrambling in to get your food. That goes right back. Right, we've got all these lovely shelves, right? Plenty of room for all your bottles. As you can see, it's not even anywhere near full. You can fit everything on it, height-wise, they all fit in perfectly. This drawer here is like a sealy box, so any smelly foods, such as cheeses, anything that's going to contaminate your food, pop it in here, sealed box as you can see, and it seals it shut, so it keeps the smell out of your fridge and away from your other food. There's also an egg tray, of course, which you can see, but what you can probably notice now, which I haven't told you about yet, is the actual lights. Now these are very bright, as you can see. It's also got the light that goes right down, the light on the top. And when you open the fridge, it starts off dim, but then it gets brighter as it goes along, so you get used to the light. But on a night, it is very bright indeed. It's got antibacterial technology. This as well helps prevent, obviously, contamination. It prevents your food going off, which is brilliant. And we've got so much room in this fridge, as you can see. It's not hardly full yet, but I've still got more shopping to do. This shelf, yeah, they all have lips on the edges of them to prevent spills, so again you won't get the contamination when your food drips or runs down the actual fridge. The shelves are very wide, so you can see you can get lots in. You've got a little tub which you can put in whatever you want to really. I haven't actually used that yet, but I'm sure I will do. And then another shelf there, another wide shelf there, and they do go quite far back, as you can see. The top one is quite high. Even for me, I cannot reach the back of it. So this shelf here, let's come down to the interesting part now. This one here slides out. You could pop a fresh cake on it, whatever. Not have to pick it up out the fridge to drag it out with the shelf coming out. It's easy to pick it up. The moment I've got my yogurts on it. Now to the big surprise. The Haier are well known for their very innovative appliances, and this is certainly no different. I've never seen anything like this before in a fridge. This is the MyZone. I don't want to explain to you how this works. This is the fantastic MyZone. With Haier you would expect to have something like this. It's very innovative. Never seen it in a fridge freezer before. Totally amazing. It's 22 litres of storage which slides out just like that. Glides so easily. Now this one, as you can see, it's got fruit and veg, quick cool, zero fresh, soft defrost. You can change these to what you want to put in it. To unlock it, you hold it in for 3 seconds. And then you select the one you want. So, soft defrost, for example. If you want to get something out of your freezer for dinner the next day, you don't want to leave it on the side because sometimes it gets too warm and you're a bit worried about it actually going off before you've cooked it. You can pop it in your drawer, soft defrost, and when you come to the next day or whenever you want to use it, it's defrosted perfectly right and still chilled. Zero fresh puts it on zero. That will also keep it at zero temperature. So you can keep something very cool in there. Quick cool is ideal for, say, you've been out and bought a cake, or you've got a bottle of wine, or something fresh that needs cooling right down quickly. Say you've got guests arriving, or you want something for tea. So you pop it in there, quick cool, and it'll chill it within 10 minutes. Fruit and veg, these can go off at times, even in the drawers at the bottom, as we know, especially fruits, such as blueberries, things like that. Pop them in there in the fruit and veg with that setting on, and it'll keep them totally fresh, crisp, beautiful. Lettuces, anything like that, you pop in there. It automatically locks again after 3 seconds, so you just hold it in again to unlock it, press select to go through them. And that's your 22 litres of space in a totally different controlled temperature to your fridge. It'll always be different depending on which setting you put it on. Absolutely brilliant. Never seen anything like it, but it's something I'll be using all the time. It's such as higher to do. It's brilliant. The drawers, absolutely massive. You get so much veg in it. And another one at the bottom. So much space. They pull out really easily. Very sturdy. Of course the alarm is going off because the door's open, but it just lets you know to shut the door if it's left open too long. So the fridge, is absolutely brilliant. The amount of space is unbelievable. I mean, the fridge temperature, you can have it set from 1 to 9 degrees, whichever you prefer really, but ideally you want it on 4 degrees, 5 degrees. So that's the fridge. You certainly wouldn't want much more room than that. Let's move on to the freezer. As you can see, there's so much room in here as well. You've actually got all this door space, all these shelves, lovely, light again at the back of it, and you've got the multi-airflow, right? This feature is brilliant because this actually circulates through the whole of the fridge, making sure that you have a frost-free freezer. You'll never need to defrost this freezer at all. It also prevents your food like this, you don't get any ice on it. So that's fantastic. You get everything in it. The shelves are so big, all the way down, they go right back, and you've got massive drawers for all your little bits and bobs to go in. 3 drawers at the bottom. So your storage space is absolutely huge. The actual space of the freezer is 335 litres. Right, the doors also hold lots because, as you probably noticed, this fridge freezer does not have an outside ice water maker. My last one did, and I did use that a lot, but this one does have an ice maker. So this is the actual ice maker on this one, which is a bit, well, let me show you how it works. So all you need to do is to pull this out. You get a jug with it. There'll be an amount of water, you put it up to the maximum mark, pour it into there, then shut that again. As you can see, the ice cube tray's in there. Then once your ice is frozen, you simply twist and it empties just like that. Then your ice goes into the bottom, but this is really hard to get out. Actually, even to open it, as you can see, there's some ice in. It's very flimsy, but it does the job. You can get 4 lots of ice out of your tray into that, that's the maximum it will hold. But what you do lose with the ice maker on the front of it, the water, you gain in the space, as you can see, with all this door space, all this in here, shelf space. It's absolutely huge. If I open them both together, you'll get an idea of how wide it actually is. And the size of it, if I stand in front of it, I'm 5'5", so you can see how big this actually is. So please make sure that you have enough room to put this in. A lot of people realise that the doors do come off, but if you take the doors off, you're not going to get it through with the door space taken off because the hinges on the bottom, the actual freezer, still stick right out. So please make allowances for this because taking the doors off will not give you any more space to get it through the door. Just bear that in mind because you do need a big space for it. As you can see, absolutely huge. It's fantastic. It's guaranteed for 2 years, and the actual motor in the freezer is guaranteed for 30 years. That's how confident they are with this particular model. Your freezer, you can have it set between 15 to 23 degrees. This is how you do the settings. I'll show you now on the front of it. As you can see, this lights up too. Very pretty indeed. Right, at the moment this is the fridge, which is on 6 degrees, because I've set it up. To change your settings, you'd unlock it, hold that in, and it's unlocked. And then you can change to freezer from there, or you can have, there's a freezer -15, you can have this one. That one it cools quickly. Should you've been shopping and you've got lots of fresh food to put in your fridge, pop that on and it'll chill it straight down to the ideal temperature you've got your fridge set on. Once it's got to it, it'll stop. This one is fast freeze, which you pop your food in when you've been shopping again, will freeze your food really quickly. Again, it'll return, as soon as it's frozen it to ideal temperature, it'll go back to normal. Then we've got an interesting one here called Fuzzy. I guess you're wondering what Fuzzy is. Well, Fuzzy actually controls the temperature to what you have in your fridge freezer. It works out how much food you have in, and it will automatically change the temperature to suit the amount of food or frozen items until they reach the correct temperatures yet again. You can't change the temperature of the fridge or the fridge freezer if you've got fuzzy mode on. That is one thing you can't do. Holiday. Holiday. Now, lots of people say go on holiday 2 weeks a year. So, holiday setting, what does this do? Right, holiday actually turns the fridge right off. You'll still keep it, it won't go off, nothing will be like, mouldy or anything like that with the antibacterial, but it won't be on at all. So empty everything out of it that you're not going to use while you're away, and your fridge will actually save power and not come on at all. But the freezer will stay at the temperature you have it set on, keeping all your frozen food frozen while you're away. This is absolutely brilliant. I mean, it's 740 litres total. This is equivalent to 4 huge shopping trolleys full of food that this actually holds altogether, which is totally amazing. It's also very, very quiet. It's got a compressor in it, so you can't even hear it. If you listen, you can't hear it running at all. So you basically don't even know it's running. The optimal temperature for it to run in a room, you need between 10 and 43 degrees is ideal for it. Doesn't want to be hotter than that because it's going to overfreeze and struggle. Any cooler than that, it's going to struggle again, so it does need to be within that temperature range to keep it in pristine condition. But as you can see, this is absolutely fantastic. The only thing I will say I am disappointed with it being a higher and it's so innovative, I would have thought it would have had an ice making or water dispenser for this price. It's not a cheap fridge freezer, and you're still missing that function. I mean, I really enjoyed that in my last one. I will manage without it, but surely nowadays they could have made something slightly smaller and put something on it. I know they want the front to look very minimal and very smart, which it does, and you've got the extra space, as I stated before, but I still would like to have seen a water dispenser of some kind, or at least a simple ice machine on it. Apart from that, it's absolutely gorgeous. I absolutely love it, and I can't recommend it highly enough. Thank you very much, AO.com.